Before we jump to the studio, I'm going to give you a quick visual aid, so we're all on the same page with understanding 4 words I am going to use. Okay, so the first will be isosceles triangle. That is a tall, skinny triangle. The second will be equilateral triangle. That's kind of a fatter triangle with 3 equal sides. That's the second shape. Let me give you a quick picture. I'll be right back. Third word, pentagon. That is a 5-sided shape, kind of like a house. But in terms of dancing, it is going to be an irregular pentagon. So each side is a little bit of a different length, and so it looks kind of cattywampus with a bunch of broken angles. I'll give you a visual in a second. And the fourth word, scalene triangle. So this is here, 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 instead of here or here. Okay, so it's here. So, and actually I can show you with the bottom of the screen. So we have a long side and a different length side that's also long and a shorter side. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that pentagon and the scalene triangle. I'll be right back. Now we're going to jump to the studio. So if geometry wasn't your thing, I'm going to show you with a human body what these shapes look like on the dance floor and the natural progression that you can take to get to that next level of dancing in your shape and your presentation, making beautiful dancing. Okay, let's go to the studio. Okay, forgive me today, guys. I'm gonna have some notes because I want to hit every point accurately. When we're dancing, we focus so much, especially in the ballroom dances, on what we call the top line, the pictures we're making with the top, which is great. That stands out on the floor. But for more advanced level dancing, I would recommend focusing on the baseline. So we're not only making pictures, 3-dimensional pictures with the top. For more advanced level dancers, we're going to be making pictures with the base, okay? And I'm going to cover the natural progression in our dancing. And wherever you are in that stage, you just focus on kind of your next level of improvement. This applies to both lead and follow. And I'll show what this looks like in the end, both as a lead and as a follow. So when we see beginners dance, they have their legs pretty much in a constant isosceles triangle. So if I were to show with my arms, kind of like a tall, skinny, upright triangle. There's a physics reason behind that. It's easier to balance, but it ends up looking, if I were to do a progressive box T, I'll show in waltz. It's pretty small, it's upright, and then it's almost impossible to close the feet. So, next up, after dancers master that, after about a year, they start to get bigger steps and lowering action when they cultivate strength in those legs and ankles. And we end up with an equilateral triangle. So that's one where you have equal, equal, equal. So it's kind of a wider, fatter triangle. That will look like this in that progressive box. It's better. It's not hideous, it's better. It's better flight. Probably get a little better shape and swing accidentally, but very choppy. It's not graceful. and we tend to bop a lot and pull on our partner, both as lead and as follow. So at that point in our dancing, we're thinking, gosh, I want to add shape. So next phase people do, in their effort to focus on that top line and make shapes, is they make a bajillion different body lines, trying to shape. And it's just like looking at a pinata. It's very busy. Generally speaking, our DNA is going to see symmetry as beautiful. When you get too many body lines going, it just, even to a non-dancer, like, what are they doing? And so usually we kind of like rein in the top first, but we also want to make symmetrical lines with our baseline. Minimize those angles. We do this in Latin too, right? You kind of start out and everyone's just bent, 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 and then you start really tidying up and trying to make triangles. I'm trying to make triangles in ballroom dancing as well. They're just super wide triangles, okay? So initially you're gonna try to make the shapes, and it's a wonky, irregular pentagon. I got 5 sides, and down here they're doing all sorts of different stuff. And it creates a broken top line, unstable. So next level is going to be making a scalene triangle as often as we can, every single side step. So a scalene triangle is going to look like this. It's skinny, and I have a straight line and a line, as opposed to a bunch of lines going on with the knees. How do I do this? Show you when I'm going forward. I'm tracking. This is bent and this is straight. Now, I still am nursing my broken fibula, so I can't show this super good today, but I'm sure you'll get the idea. I'm trying to make a low triangle, okay? Instead of a low pentagon, okay? Low triangle. Now when I shift, I'm gonna make a second low triangle. What you're gonna wanna do, just because it's very efficient as a single body, is go straight, straight, or bend, bend. But for ballroom dancing, we gotta think bend, straight, bend, straight. And every time I'm doing that side step is probably the sweet spot where I want one straight leg. If I turn the foot out, that's also a little bit of a cheat. And then I drag the foot together. This is pendulum swing usually on that side. And then I shift. And I'll show on both feet. I think I have managed the pain enough here. I can show on both legs. We'll give it a shot. So tracking, I'm low, I'm straight, I'm pendulum. I have my second isosceles triangle, and I close, or scalene, excuse me. Whoop. Bend, scalene, number 1, pendulum, scalene, number 2, collect, and never try to get to that true straight leg action unless you're truly doing a side. Or maybe fancy figure like a throwaway for the follows. We have a lot of that action in our picture figures. Next time you're dancing, we're gonna think scalene triangles is the highest goal we can achieve, but you know what, if you film a dance in a year or so, just know that these are kind of normal steps your body's gonna have to progress through to cultivate. Like this takes ginormous thigh strength, balance, ankle coordination, but it will happen. And in my opinion, it's a little easier if when we're down making that scalene triangle, if we turn out and then drag that foot in. It'll be a little more balanced than just trying to do it freewheeling. That takes a lot more strength. So hope that helps. Don't forget your baseline.